How's everybody doing out there on YouTube? This is Shafe coming at you with a very, very, very important video today. It's going to be my Manchester Players of the Year and Goal of the Year. Alright, before we get into the video, I'd appreciate if you guys could like and subscribe. Let me know what you think about the video. Leave a comment. Let me know how great I am. Let me know how much you appreciate my opinion on things. I appreciate it, guys. Let's get into the video. If you watch the games this season, you would know that this list is not too it's not too difficult to make, to be honest with you. So let's get into it. Manchester United end of the season awards. And for the first one, I'm going to say the best new signing. And I got three options to choose from. The options that I'm going to choose from is Amrabat, Højlund, and Johnny Evans. And even though Johnny Evans has previously played for United, I think it's safe to say nobody expected him to be back this year. So we're going to go ahead and say he's a new signing. But after looking at everything, after watching the games, I do think Amrabat made a solid push at the end of the year for... he had some really solid games. He had a little bit of duds as well, but the same could be said for almost all of these besides Johnny Evans. But Johnny Evans only played 21 matches, and Johnny Evans was just a fill-in defender. And to be honest with you, Johnny Evans was playing simple passes. And besides the one pass to Bruno versus Burnley, in which Bruno scored the winner, I can't think of one thing that Johnny Evans did that really turned my head. So my best new signing of the year is Rasmus Højlund, the 21-year-old. He played in 30 matches in the Premier League this season, 25 starts, 10 goals, 2 assists on 38 shots. Yes, you heard that right. Our starting forward in 25 match starting forward had 38 shots this season. 20 of those shots were on target. That's a 52.6% shot on target rate. He had a 0.26 goal per shot rate, which is amongst the highest in the league. I could only imagine if he, got 100 shots like other forwards would, maybe like Garnacho, or even, I think even Fernandes had 90. But he was 7th on the team in shots. Obviously, he needs the ball more, and he will become a 20-goal scorer per year in league, no doubt, in the near future. Maybe not next year, but I imagine by the time he's 22, he's going to firmly cement himself around that 15-20 goal mark every single season. He obviously could use a lot of work on his hold-up game and his movement and his heading, but those things will come. He's 21 years old. They will come. Also, United need to figure out a better way to use him. 38 shots for your starting striker or center forward is not enough. It needs to be tripled, at minimum tripled. Like I said, for context, Bruno has 10 goals and 4 of them coming from the penalty spot, but Bruno also took 3 times the amount of shots as Rasmus Højlund. So there you go. But again, my honorable mention is Johnny Evans. He played very well as a fill-in and a veteran player, and it's good to have him on the team. But Rasmus Højlund is my best new signing of the season. Moving on to the best young player of the season, I have 3 players to choose from here. Kobbie Mainoo, Alejandro Garnacho, and Rasmus Højlund. And it should come as no surprise to anybody here that Kobbie Mainoo is my best young player of the season. He's 19 right now. He's played most of the season at age 18. He 24 matches played, 24 starts, 3 goals, 1 assist. He only has 11 shots on the season. 5 of them were on target. 45% shot on target rate, and he has a 0.27 goal per shot rate, which is pretty darn good. 86% pass completion rate. It's the highest midfielder on the team behind Amrabat, who played substantially less than Kobbie Mainoo. He is the most technically gifted player in the whole squad. He is the most technically gifted player in the whole league under 20 years old. He's fantastic. The sky's the limit for this young lad. If he continues to progress, the sky's the limit. He has the potential to be a future superstar midfielder. He really does. It's the only player that we have that I can say that has that type of potential. He really is in the making of like a mix, a very good, well-balanced mix of Roy Keane and Paul Scholes. He has the ability to keep the ball and recycle it and bomb forward like like Roy Keane did, and then he also has the smarts and the technical ability to do whatever he wants in that midfield, like Paul Scholes did. So I hope his star continues to rise. He's one of the best young players in the league at the moment, and I couldn't ask for a better midfielder to build this team around. The third thing, goal of the season. We have a few that we can talk about. First and foremost, we're going to talk about Garnacho's bicycle kick versus Everton. Absolute fantastic bicycle kick. Better than Rooney's, without a doubt. Not quite as good as Ronaldo's for Real Madrid versus Juventus, but fantastic bicycle kick. Bruno's half-field shot that he scored against Liverpool on, just smart play, well placed, well played by Bruno. Not too many players have the balls to do something like that. Well played, Bruno. We got Kobe Mino dances around Wolves' defense and slots it home in the bottom right. That was like a coming out for Kobe Mino, and just a little glimpse of what he can do. It's not crazy to think that Kobe Mino can be a 10-goal, 10-assist central midfielder. Just a holding midfielder who can score and assist. It's going to be wild to see his career in the future. And last but not least, Diallo wins the FA Cup quarterfinal versus Liverpool in the 120th minute. That was a magical moment. I'll never forget it. It's probably the highlight of the season, if I'm being honest. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do a caveat on this one. So, goal of the season in terms of difficulty and how amazing it was, it's 100% Alejandro Garnacho. The goal of the season to United on what it meant and that moment meant, it has to be Diallo in the quarterfinal versus Liverpool, the FA Cup quarterfinal. Now, if I have to choose between the two of them, like I said, I think Garnacho's goal is a world-class goal, and it was amazing. But I would have to choose, if it's the goal of the season for United, I have to choose the FA Cup quarterfinal goal. However, that was in the FA Cup, and we can only go off of Premier League. So I don't know why I even have that in there. But I guess I have to choose Garnacho's bicycle versus Everton. Just a brilliant goal. Very, very hard to emulate that. We're going with that one. And last and not least, we're going to go over the player of the year. Now, I only have two candidates for this. I was thinking about putting Onana in there at goalkeeper because I do believe that he had a really a solid year, all things considered, on how bad it went in some of the matches. And then in other matches, he pretty much saved the game for us. But for as many times as he saved us, he also gave it away. But he did have a solid season. We asked him to do something that he's not normally accustomed to doing, and he's done it at a very high level. And once he's able to put together being a stopper and a distributor, I think we're going to be looking at one of the best goalkeepers in the league in a couple of years here, once we get the defense figured out and everything like that. But the two players I got, so first player I got is Bruno Fernandes, 35 matches played, 35 starts, 10 goals, 8 assists. 4 of those goals came via penalty. 90 shots on the season, quite a bit of shots for a midfielder. 35 shots on target, 39% shot on target rate. He had an abysmal 0.07 goal per shot rate. Also, his pass completion rate was 73%, but that number does get drastically bogged down by the overuse of long balls. He only had 53% on long balls this year, and he attempted 433, so that's quite a bit. He was third in the league with 210 score-creating actions. Bruno is actually not a very good defender. However, he puts in more effort than almost anybody in the league on the defensive end. He really does. It's commendable. It also constantly, gets him out of position to try to make a tackle when he should be doing other things. However, with that being said, the whole team operates through Bruno. How Bruno went is how the team goes. Whether that's a good or bad thing, I think, just check the record, and the record speaks to that. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. But Bruno's an Iron Man for us, and he has been for years, and I'm glad to have him on the team. I kind of want him off the team at this point, but this season was a pretty decent season for him. 10 goals, 8 assists. Can't argue too much with that. And my second player is Diogo Dalot. 36 matches played, 35 starts, 2 goals, 3 assists. Diogo Dalot has always been like a traditional right wing back who overlaps and sends in a cross off the byline. And he was asked to do a completely different job this year. He played more of an inverted right back and then also an inverted left back. His crosses are not as high as they probably should have been, but that's because he's constantly playing in the midfield, recycling the ball now. he like I said, he's been asked to do a completely different thing. He has an 81% pass completion rate, which is pretty good for a wing back who's just trying to hold on to possession in midfield. He had 78 score creating actions, and he had 7 goal creating actions this year. 81 tackles, which was second on the team, and he has a 69% tackle percentage, which is very good. Overall, he's an absolute workhorse playing either the right back or the left back for us, and he's possibly at this moment, he's a top 5 right back in the league, in my opinion. And I mean, I don't think it's that crazy to say that. And he has a top mentality, and he's been a top professional this year. He's also been somewhat of an Iron Man for us playing all these minutes. And between these two players, I know a lot of people are probably going to choose Bruno because of the goal and assist output. But in my humble opinion, I think Diogo Dalot has been the heartbeat of the team, especially in these dying ambers when things haven't looked so great for us. Diogo Dalot has always been there playing as consistent as possible. Right back, left back, it doesn't matter. I don't think he's had. I think he's only had maybe 1 or 2 stinkers this whole season long. I think he's been one of the most consistent players we've had in the last 3-4 years. And without a doubt, in my mind, he's been the player of the year this year. He's been the brightest spark on the team, in my opinion, when it comes to the defensive end and possession based in the middle of the field with his passing and everything. And yeah, so that's why I got as my player of the year, Diogo Dalot. Bruno Fernandes comes in as a close second. And that's my list, guys. So I choose Dalot, player of the year, running back. I got Garnacho for the goal of the season. I got Cubby Mino as the best young player, and the best new signing is Rasmus Højlund. I appreciate you guys watching the video. If you agree with me, leave a comment. Let me know. If you don't agree with me, leave a comment. Let me know what you would change. Mind you, I am probably smarter than you, so it is what it is. But I appreciate you watching the video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good one, guys.